Hey guys, what's up? Sorry, haven't been on for a while. I just been trying to make this list, and we all have those movies where that we watch and we enjoy, but there's characters in it that just annoy us. And this is what I call Jar Jar Binks Syndrome. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's just a character that has too much exposure, too much time devoted to them. When if they'd been cut down, they wouldn't be as irritating. People hate Jar Jar Binks for the most part, but they don't hate the Ewoks. And my theory on this is that the Ewoks are only in the last third of Return of the Jedi, and you don't see them too often. They're just because there are like three different battles going on. You're allowed to take a break from the Ewoks. But with Jar Jar Binks, he's in the beginning of the movie, towards the beginning of the movie, and he just is constantly there. And after a while, he starts to get really annoying for a lot of people, and they just hate Jar Jar Binks. Whereas, yeah, if he had been only in the first third of the movie, and then maybe like when they was getting off of Mos Eisley, he was just waving by, as like, "Oh, good luck to you." And then we never saw him again. I think he would be hated. So we all have those things happen in movies that we like. So this is what I want to talk about this time. This is going to be my top 10 movies with Jar Jar Binks Syndrome. And so I have my list written over here to my left. So I just want, if I look over to where my list is, that's what I'm doing. If you see me turn my head, that's what I'm doing. So let's do this. Number 10 is Iago from Aladdin Return of Jafar. So in the first Aladdin movie, Iago was perfectly fine. He was the sidekick to the villain. He had a few speaking parts, and people may hate Gilbert Gottfried's voice. Can be a little grating at times, but hey, that's just who he is. But in the second one, he got way too much time. It was basically Iago's movie for about half of it. He is constantly there, and the spotlight is right on him when really this should be about Aladdin again, because the movie is called Aladdin. If you want to have it be about Jafar, that's fine as well, but there's too much focus on Iago, and with Gilbert Gottfried's voice, and he even gets a singing section in it. It's just a little too much Iago for me, you know? It's just, yeah, whatever. So, number 9 on my list is Ruby Rod from Fifth Element. I enjoy Fifth Element. Ruby Rod's low on this list because he is only in the last half of the movie. But I had to put on this because he's so annoying and so in your face that it's just like, if just too much, man. There's too much, especially since he's a big part of the battle that Dallas Corbin has in that scene, in the opera house, where he's throwing the grenades and he's a count to 10 and he's crying the entire time and screaming. And it's just okay, as a DJ, it's okay when he's just being his overly energetic self, but when he's doing that same thing in this situation, it's too much. It's just too much. Again, I enjoy the movie, and Ruby Rod doesn't bother me too much, but he does bother me. So don't worry, I will not be that kind for some of these other people on this list, especially once it gets to the top 5. But number 8 are the humans in Alien vs Predator. Way too much. I mean, this was supposed to be Alien vs Predator. This is one of the reasons I was really disappointed with that movie, is that it was Alien versus Predator. We wanted that. We didn't want humans encountering them. And it was like, an hour or so before the Predators show up in the movie and actually show up and do stuff. It's like way too long to not have the Predators in this movie. I know this one is built a lot more like an Alien movie, but these characters are not interesting. They're very bland. They just were waste of space, and it's almost like you say, all right, let me see here. You're dead. You maybe survive towards the end. No, you're definitely dying. You're talking about your family. Oh, you are definitely a goner. And so it's like, too much, man. There's too much focus on the humans when it should be focusing on the predator or the aliens. Pick one, because the humans were just in the way a lot of the times, and they really caused a lot of the problems in this movie. Ugh. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I prefer the second one. And I'll talk about that in a later date. So, yeah. Alright, number 7. Oh, number 7 is Ned from Spider-Man Homecoming. I hated Ned in this movie. This is the character I was talking about when in my Spider-Man Homecoming review, when I did my catch up. I hated Ned. I hated him because the guy, first of all, why is he smarter than Peter Parker? Peter Parker's a really smart kid. He should have been able to figure out his suit, what was in it, why that it had tracking and all this other stuff. But Ned figures this stuff out. He's not smarter than Peter. He's comes off as kind of a doofus as it pertains to this private school. Not to mention, he's pretty annoying. And his like, oh dude, you gotta tell me everything. You gotta tell me everything. He's like, the first time it's okay, but when he's again and again and again, too much. Not to mention, the thing I hated the most was this guy is a damn snitch. He's a snitch. There's a scene where this I guess romantic interest is talking to her friends, and they say, "Oh, you like Spider-Man?" It's like, well, yeah, kind of. He immediately goes, "Peter knows Spider-Man. Peter knows Spider-Man." Peter knows. Like, shut up. He might as well have just said, "Oh, Peter Spider-Man, Peter Spider-Man, Peter Spider-Man. You should go out with him." It's like, shut up, you damn snitch. And I told my family, it's like, yeah, he is a snitch. A couple of them didn't realize it. Like, it's not like he was tortured or anything like that to give up the information unwillingly. No, he gave it up like that without any sort of provocation. It's like, what the hell, man? You are just a terrible friend, a terrible sidekick. Ugh, I hate you so much. But he's not the most annoying character that I see in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. And he's definitely not the biggest victim of Jar Jar Binks Syndrome. That will come later. Don't worry, but we'll get to that character later. Number 6 is a 2-for-1, actually. Willie and Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Way too much yelling from Short Round. He's constantly screaming his lungs out in every situation, and it's just this grating. Shut up. It's like, not to mention, after a while, you're waiting for him to get killed. It was like, just someone kill him, crocodiles eat him, something. Just shut this kid up. And Willie is worse, in my opinion, because she is this stereotypical, oh, I broke a nail kind of sheltered woman who doesn't even know what an owl is. And the scene where they're in the jungle and Willie Short Round and Indy are playing cards, and she's just freaking out over everything. She sees an owl and screams her lungs. I was like, you don't know what an owl is? Are you that damn sheltered? Even in the 30s, this should have. She said in the 30s. Even the 30s, like, you shouldn't be this sheltered and this weak. Like, come on. And then she's another character that's like, okay, it's like when they're lowering her, it's like, oh, good. She's gonna die, and we never have to hear from her again. And then when Indy's rescuing her, she's constantly screaming, and it's like, it's annoying. She's annoying, and she's the femme fatale, I guess you want to call her. She's the romantic interest of Indy in this movie. It's like, oh no. The two women in the movies that sandwich this one with Raiders and Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, better female characters than those, definitely. But, bad. So that's part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to talk about characters that some of them make me mad, some of them are more disappointing. But that being said, what do you think of this idea of Jar Jar Binks Syndrome? Have you encountered this sort of thing in the movies you watched? Let me know in the comments if you have. And I'll be back soon with part two. Take care. Later.